All right, good morning. We made it. I apologize because when I scheduled this stream, I scheduled it somehow in the past. However that works, I don't know. I caught that this morning when I was just getting ready to go live. So I changed it over so hopefully we get the regular crew coming in. But again, it's 8 o'clock, so we're always here at 8 o'clock, Monday to Friday. If you're watching on the replay, always nice to have you here if you want to join us live. When I get the stream scheduled properly, it goes at 8 o'clock a.m. and we are live at 8 a.m. So as we'll get this out of the way, hit that like button, helps out the channel, gets it out to a lot of people. And I appreciate everybody that's joining on the live and on the replay. Let's have a sip of coffee first. Coffee crew is here rolling in. It always takes a little bit for the crew to roll in and YouTube push that out. So it gives me some time to have a sip of coffee. And we'll go through the good morning. So if you're joining and it's your first time here, don't be scared to join and say hi. Good group of people. We'll talk about our TFSAs, investing, see where the conversation goes half the time, and it's all about you, not just me. Good morning, Candace. Always first. Someone's got to beat Candace one of these days. That's the challenge. That is the challenge. But good morning. Hopefully your day's doing well, and it's good to have you here. Always good. MC is here. Good to have you here, MC. As always, awesome. Appreciate you taking your time out of the morning, or I guess it's, I think it's still morning everywhere in Canada when we do this. So that's great. Regulars are all here. Stan, good morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Always good to have you tuning in. And Nadia is here. Coffee's hot. Awesome. My coffee is hot too. I literally just poured a fresh cup of coffee before jumping on the stream. That 5 minute, I start off the 5 minute kind of pre-roll timer, and that's when I go and make sure my coffee is hot and fresh, top up my coffee, then come back and sit down and I'm ready for the live stream. So it works out pretty good. Good morning, Paul. Always good to have you here. Coffee's hot, steaming coffee emoji. And don't pay the ransom. Brian escaped. Oh, you're not working? I'm not sure. Good morning though. Always good to have you here. Awesome stuff. We'll get into Candace's chat GPT joke. I always wait for these. I was worried, Candace, I didn't see it pop up right away, but it is there. So these are getting bad, but good. What did the scarecrow say when his stocks went up by 10%? I'm finally getting the hang of this. I'm a natural at being stuffed with money. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Speaking of stocks that are up 10%, I was looking at the market this morning as it opens up, and Tesla is doing quite well. That was one of the trades that I'm happy about. It's doing good things for my portfolio by having have the CDR and also getting into that. Tesla yield. Happy about that. That's good. Hopefully that can continue. That would be nice to see. My Tesla yield shares are up quite substantially. I didn't get a chance to do a portfolio update yesterday. I was working on it, did another video, but I will get that portfolio update out so everybody can kind of see, but pretty happy with that. That was good. Hopefully that can carry on. That's always nice. That was actually part of the news state, but we'll get into it as we go here. In terms of videos, I didn't get to do a channel update yesterday, but what popped up on my news feed, and I figured I would do a quick video on was let's get this screen shared properly. There we go. Let's scroll down the video after this. But Netflix rolling out password. This was coming, right? We knew this, but more countries are going to get hit with this password sharing crackdown, as they're calling it, including Canada. So I did post a video on my channel. You can check that out. They will be basically, I guess, cutting access to people joining your Netflix account from a different household. So obviously connecting from a different IP address or different Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. So I guess that's how they'll know and find out. Apparently there'll be some type of way to authorize. Probably I'm going to assume authorize a device of yours to if you're traveling or something like that. But you'll be able to add extra people to your account, extra users at, I guess, a lower price, up to a maximum. So interesting. I think that's a good move by Netflix. I don't own any Netflix, but I think this is probably a good move. I had some interesting comments on the video of that. Let's unshare here so we can get into the screen. I did have some interesting comments on that, and I mean a lot of it's kind of split 50-50. But do let me know your thoughts on this, on Netflix sharing, in the comments, what you think about this. And I mean, I have Netflix. I don't share my Netflix with any other households. And I think it's good. I think it's good for Netflix. I think they obviously, the business, they want to make money. They're doing this because they want to use, they want to still be able to keep investing in new shows and new movies. Netflix has some good shows. Netflix movies, I'm kind of here nor there. It just depends on, I think, the movie that comes out. But they need this revenue to keep on creating, right? And I think it will. I think it's a benefit for them. Now, the comments I kind of had was there was one from South America saying like everybody shares their password there. So this is probably I'm gonna probably go on and jump out and kind of say it's possibly a bit of a country specific areas that have more sharing than others. Probably maybe not as much, I don't know, maybe not as much sharing in Canada or the United States. I have no idea, but maybe different countries do share it a lot more. The thing is, Netflix is making that subscription, even if they're sharing for a ton, like other, say you're sharing it to 4 other households, only one person's paying. So if they take off that sharing, that person that's paying, I'm going to assume is probably going to keep paying. That's my thoughts. And so it's just going to encourage other people to possibly subscribe, which is a good thing, especially if you hold Netflix, and it will or encourage them to add users to their account. So obviously more subscriptions, better for Netflix. If you're getting cut off sharing, then you'll find other means maybe, but I think the net benefit will be good for Netflix. And that was kind of the mix of comments was like yes or no. It was like it's almost like evenly split in the middle, but. Okay, good call, Candice. That's a good point, actually. Too much dub content on Netflix nowadays. I just lose the suspend your rally when the words in mouth aren't mismatched. Yeah, they do dub stuff, but you can actually go in, like they do have some decent, I got mouth, not moth, but yeah, they do have, Netflix has some decent foreign movies, but what I find is I'll put it on the, I'm the same with you, like the dub stuff when they dub it into English, it kind of does lose a lot of the, it loses a lot of the actor, I guess would be the best way. So it's probably, I usually flip on to subtitles, and that's how I usually watch those foreign ones. And there's some decent foreign movies that are in there, but you have to be in the right mood for subtitles. That's the one thing you can't you have to be, you have to pay attention, which is, sometimes when you are tuning on Netflix at the end of the day, sometimes you just want to kind of tune out and not pay, have to pay a ton of attention to it. But it's that's how I usually watch them. I'll flip them over. And so Brian's the same boat. Yeah, I prefer to watch them in subtitles as opposed to English. You get then you get the kind of feel for the actors, right? Whereas the subtitle, if it's overdubbed, it's kind of it'd be like me overdubbing a movie and just saying it word for word. No one would enjoy it. So, but there's some decent ones on there. I've watched, I don't watch a ton of subtitle ones, but I've watched a few. So they get some decent movies from time to time on Netflix. I won't be canceling my account. I mean, I don't share it to anybody anyways, but this change isn't going to impact necessarily me. So, and that's the only streaming service I have. So it'll be interesting to see though on this if other streaming platforms kind of follow suit. That I don't know how that all works. But Netflix is kind of, you get your shows. 1869. So Chris, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. 1869 was a show I had to stop watching. I'm not sure what one that is. I'll have to kind of look that up. I'm trying to think. The last one I watched in subtitles was, I can't even remember. It was that good. It was a World War II movie. I want to say Novark, I think was one I watched, and it was subtitled, but it was good. It was good. You have to be in the right mood. I don't watch a ton of movies. I have a Netflix account. I don't watch it. I don't probably watch Netflix every day. A lot of times I'm just spent on my evenings, after work, after YouTube, all this stuff is spent on YouTube. So I'll kind of go on YouTube and enjoy it. Usually when I'll go through and I just save a lot of videos if I see stuff pop up to watch later. So my watch later list is like this giant list that I try and get through eventually. So that's kind of what I watch. But there's the odd good movie that comes out on Netflix that I enjoy, movie or show. Oh, right. So that was that one. Let's get into, I guess we can talk about, well, we talked about Tesla a little bit. That was one of the articles I pulled up. Pretty happy about Tesla. I won't share that article because it's just kind of talking about how good Tesla is doing. So hopefully it continues. They have the Investor Day coming up. I think it's March 1st. MC watches Madoff Netflix series. I haven't watched that one. I'm trying to think the last series I even watched. Probably Ozark. Like I don't watch a ton. It's funny. I don't watch a ton of, I pay for this stupid thing and I don't watch it probably near enough, but there's the odd show and movie that comes out that I'll kind of tune in and watch. I watched, it was called, it was last night it popped up. Geez, I'm terrible with remembering these names too. It was about the girl that sailed around the world. What was it called? That's the hard part. I can't remember half the time can't remember these things. I got to look it up on my phone here. It was, it was called True Spirit. That's what it was called. It was good. Yeah, it was a good little movie. It wasn't like groundbreaking movie, but it was good. Nice entertainment to watch. True story about a girl in Australia that circled the globe. So that was good. Kind of one to watch. Not have to, and then it wasn't subtitles in English, so you could just kind of watch it and enjoy it, which was all good. There we go. Let's pull up. Hold on here. Let's pull up this one because this is always a channel. This is the channel favorite had earnings today. Tesla, fourth quarter profit down and revenue up, profit down. Telus getting down today. Basically, it's they earned basically. Let's read through here. I just started to get this, and net income was 17 cents per share, down. So their income was down from 47 cents a share a year earlier, and revenue is up, but earnings down. And now on that note, so Tesla today trading obviously down. This is the US ticker of it, but I actually bought some more Tesla today. Telus. I haven't shared it on the community tab yet, but I did take an opportunity to, because it was down, is to dollar cost average my Telus down. It's going to be a long-term hold for me. So I sold off a couple of those. I didn't add any new money to my TFSA, but from part of it was the reasoning putting into money a little bit into PSA to kind of keep it in a little bit of cash. And if I'm sitting on something and see an opportunity, I was going to take it. So I sold a couple of the PSA to get a little bit of cash, and I bought a few shares of Telus today. So that was good. Kind of add to the portfolio with Telus. I don't know if anybody else had done that as well, but I think I'm long-term hold on Telus, so I figured I'd get in there while it was down a little bit, which was, I think, nice. And I think I was reading a couple of the comments on it on one of the boards, and people are taking the opportunity to maybe dollar cost average down a little bit into Telus. So I did that. That's what I did this morning. That was my main kind of morning on that. Oh, and VDY dividend came in. So if you haven't checked I know there's a lot of people that have VDY in their portfolio, and that was the one that had that dividend correction that was incorrectly shared when it first came out, when they announced the distributions, and it came in today, and it was a good one. It was nice. It's nice to see that one really growing up, and it was I put that one back just into the fractional share. So that purchase will go through at some point today on Wealthsimple. So rolled that dividend in, which was nice. And yeah, so that's good. I think it's that one's definitely growing. I think I'm going to have some kind of record dividend months coming up, with looking, comparing it to the year before. Once I start to get this in the tracker, is buying that, one share of VDY every week is starting to kind of pay dividends, not to sound clean, I guess is the best way to say it. Chris, great question. PSA is the purpose high interest yield cash. It's like a cash ETF. So it's by purpose. It's under the ticker code PSA.TO. There is a PSA ticker, and it's public self-storage. So it's not the self-storage. It's The purpose high interest ETF pays about 4.59%, I think, roughly right now. So it just invests basically in high interest. It's like a high interest savings account, or that's what it invests in. It invests in scheduled banks, high interest accounts. So it's a kind of a good way. I just put my cash in there that's going to be sitting for a bit. But the plan was with that one with PSA. Chris, if you've been watching, I don't know if you've been watching there's some of the other videos is on my TFSA. I put $100 a week and I buy basically one share. The shares are about $50. They trade a little bit up until the ex-dividend date, and they come down. And so average $50. So it's pretty steady. So I add that every week and it just kind of holds it in that ETF. And so it's kind of a good way to hold some cash for some savings. I find if it's going to hold for a long time, the plan with the TFSA was to kind of keep building that up, but the reason I sold a couple today was just to take advantage of the Telus drop that was there today. So, because Telus is another long-term hold of mine, and I didn't have funds available to just transfer. It wasn't in the budget to transfer more money in, so just kind of move things around a little bit, which is good. So you did watch the video, yeah. So that's what I have it on there. It seems to work well. There's a few other ones. That one's just the one I decided to go into. Seems to be fine. If you use Wealthsimple, you can actually, if you look in the search tab, it'll actually list high interest ETFs. So there's let me log in here and just there's a few of them. So if you go into the it's actually right on. They're actually doing one in their invest side now, which doesn't does PSA. But if you actually look on the top lists, there's a top list of high interest ETFs, and there's a few of them. They all trade around $50 a little bit. You'll see it kind of go. There's US ones. There's PSA. There's HISA. CASH, easy one to remember, Cash by Horizons, and there's also one from they're called CSAV. So there's a few of them, and Telus did raise their dividend as well. Yeah, that's right. So thanks, Brian. Yeah, they did. So took a. I think there'll be a few people that are kind of Telus, long-term Telus holders that will be picking them up. Obviously not financial advice, but if you're, I think one that comes to mind will probably be, I think it's Bear Investor that's on the channel. Doesn't normally come on live, but I think they'll pick up probably some Telus. I think they have Telus on their portfolio as well. And there we go. So MC, good question there. I saw on FinTwit that some people received an email from Wealthsimple regarding an investment opportunity target 9% yield. It looked interesting. Curious how they make that yield. Maybe lending. Now I think I heard somewhere they're getting into lending too. And again, I was on that webinar with them, MC, last week, and if I remember correctly, I think they probably. I think that's what came up as well. But again, I wish they would send me a recording because I had started work and it was like, I had it on my headphones and I got distracted during parts of it, which is unfortunate. So that'd be interesting. I'll have to dig into that. Where did you find that? Oh, Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. I'll have to do a bit of searching and see if I can find that, MC. Might be even something on Reddit, maybe on the Wealthsimple on thing. Obviously, you have to be careful with this stuff, but it's probably something it's much probably like the venture fund. They'll probably release it to certain people or what have you, or they obviously do beta testing stuff all the time. I think there's I know Candace, you got the beta test request, or not request, but offer for trading. I think it was trading options that they're doing. And we'll have to see. Might be. I don't know if they're going to get into resident, like mortgage lending. I really don't know. I have to do some digging on that, MC. I would definitely have to do. If you see something on Twitter, MC, shoot me, tag me in a link. Here, I can put my Twitter. My Twitter is pretty easy. It's just my initials. I'll put it in the chat. That's my Twitter. So if you see something, just tag me or follow and DM it or something like that. That would be great. That'd be appreciated. to dig around. I don't follow a ton of Wealthsimple stuff on Twitter, but I mean, I follow Wealthsimple, but I don't follow. Yeah, I haven't seen of the people that I follow. I haven't seen any of that pop up. But I mostly have like Bitcoin stuff on Twitter that seems to show up for me, for the most part. But 9% yield would be a monthly distribution. Yeah, hard to know to get those kind of returns. Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, it is kind of mortgage investment related for sure. I think for that. And you did receive it, yeah. You didn't sign up for it, I don't think, though, Candace. But you should do a video. You should do it. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But I think it would be kind of. If I was to get it, I probably would try, would accept and try it just to film a video, and then I probably would lose money, and but it would be for the crew. I would lose some money for the YouTube, but that's I guess okay for short-term pain, short-term loss for maybe a long-term gain. Like I did do a video on, for example, I mean, they opened it to everybody. They do on the crypto side, they do crypto staking. I did a video on that where I normally wouldn't. It's down now. I bought one Solana at the time. It's still sitting there. I'll just let it sit there. But it was fun to film a video to kind of learn. That's the reason I would do it. Maybe to try and maybe learn something. But I will definitely do some more digging into that, MC. Or if you see an article, you can just shoot me an email. That'd be great. A link. And mostly, yeah. So I don't know what it would be, Brian. No idea. We'll have to see. Obviously, I mean, Wealthsimple's trying to make money, so they're trying to make, putting stuff in the front because they're, the trading platform. If it's Canadian, if you're not signed up for their monthly, plus account, or you're not trading U.S. stocks to make, they're not making any money off the exchange. They need to make money somehow. They make it on their invest side, obviously, because they do charge a monthly fee for their robo-advisor. So they're making money on that, but obviously they're looking for ways to make. It's a company looking for ways to make more money if they're able to. So obviously that if they're doing some type of investment lending of some kind, they'll possibly look at ways to do it. It seems like the thing with we're back to the PSA and the high interest savings account. They are pushing a high interest savings account on their invest side as well. But if you kind of know what you're doing a little bit more, you can do that on your personal side and it's going to invest in the same thing, and you're not going to pay a fee, right, to buy the same shares. Their high interest savings account on their invest side invests in PSA, and you can purchase that on your self-directed side without paying any management fee. So just something to think about. Although I know I mentioned before with the invest side, if you have if you have over a certain amount of investments on the invest side, your fee does go down. So sometimes having some cash in that, you might pay a fee on it, but in general, overall, you'll pay a less fee on your entire portfolio. So sometimes it makes sense not to always necessarily do self-directed. Again, you'd have to look in that for your situation. On apps and financial Twitter and social media and all that stuff there is finally, and I'm happy about this, there's finally an update for Blossom that came out yesterday. I'm not a big Blossom user. I know there's a few people that follow the channel that are on Blossom. I've had comments saying, why aren't you on Blossom? Have you ever tried it? That kind of thing. I have it. I have an account there. You can find me on there. If you search for me, you can find me. But it finally did an update on iPhone and Android. So now when you log in and join in, it doesn't keep prompting you and forcing you and wanting you to connect your portfolio. Used to have kind of a pop-up at the very top, which is really annoying in your feed. That's disappeared. So I'm happy about that. I do have my portfolio in there. If people want to follow along, I have to obviously update it manually because I don't like sharing, I just don't see the point in necessarily logging in because I don't do a lot of changes with my portfolio, but I will go in later today and change those positions with I always say Tesla instead of Telus and PSA. So that's kind of good. But there's some good commentary over there. It's interesting. I don't really share too much. There's a lot of YouTubers on there too, and this is the hard part with social media and stuff like that, is sometimes all people want to do is share their videos, or trying to get people to come over and find them somewhere else. So it can kind of get annoying that way. But I try not to share my portfolio that much over there, like in terms of videos and links, because people can find me on YouTube. And let's click over here. That was all. We're about 8:30 already. Time flies when I start rambling on. Thanks everybody. If you had this is the time. I didn't have any other articles that I had saved up to share. If anybody has anything in particular, they have a question or comment on anything, do let me know. Now's the time. Get your comments up. As always, if I can't answer them, I will be guaranteed that someone, hopefully of the coffee crew, will be able to answer and point you in the right direction. It's always a great community here. In terms of, I can talk about the channel a little bit. Let's pull up. Appreciating all the views and everything else. Channels growing. I think it's a good time. It kind of shows, I think, a little bit how the market's doing. So views still coming in, which is nice. Working on the goal. The goal is to get. There is a goal to get my channel monetized with Google by the end of this month, and I think it's going to happen. I got to get my butt in gear and do more videos, but I think it's going to happen. I think February is the month. So as people are watching this, I do appreciate everybody that's watching and joining on, commenting, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. So there was a Google drop yesterday, thanks to that Bard. I guess they were doing a Candace. I didn't watch it, but I guess they were doing. I think they've taken it down. I heard they took it down. I think I kind of read that briefly, but they were doing a presentation where they were doing I don't know if it was a live stream or something I guess was going on, and whatever they asked it gave the wrong answer, and then the stock dropped. So that's not good. If I haven't looked at, let me look at Google. Let's pull up Google today. Sorry, let me see what it's doing. Yeah, it's backed. It's still down. It's down again today as well. So it hasn't had a good. Start to. Let me see here. Let's pull up. It hasn't had a good start to today. So this is the past 5 days. Yeah, not good. So even today, let's see. Even today, it's down almost. It's 4 points down, 4.6% today. So people aren't liking Google's Bard so far, apparently. But I think maybe, I don't know. I don't have. Obviously, there's Google in the ETFs I have. Obviously in the but it's no Google shares. But I'm sure there's probably people that are seeing this and probably taking the opportunity, I guess, if you look at it that way. So. And thanks, Brian. Yeah, watch anything we need to help. That's all it is. It's just at this point comes down to with the way that Google, or not Google, as we're talking about YouTube. I mean, yeah, YouTube's Google. It just comes down to you need a certain number of watch hours on your channel. These live streams help. This is what's, I enjoy doing them. We get more and more people kind of every time. There's usually somebody new out there. They don't always, the lurkers don't always comment, but that's okay too. But it's just eyeballs is appreciated. You don't have to, and I know Candace over the weekend spent some time watching some old videos and thinking the comments were great because it's funny. It's fun to actually look if you go back. I mean, if you're going back and looking at some of the old videos to see the portfolio growing, and if you're kind of wanting to, people I think like it because they kind of can compare it a little bit to what theirs are doing when other people bought them compared to when you bought them, so you can kind of see those updates. But on that note, with updates, obviously I'm going to keep sharing my updates on the channel, but the whole idea of starting to kind of do a few different, there's not going to be a regular schedule of them by any means, but just a few other types of videos. I did that video on ChatGPT. I did the video yesterday on Netflix password sharing. So if I see things that come across that I can kind of put into a quick video for people, a bit of news, that kind of thing, that's maybe a bit timely, I will start to kind of film those when I have time and get them up on the channel as well, just to kind of diversify the content a little bit, I guess would be the best analogy for that one. And yes, I think the battle has started. It'll be, and this is where it's going to be interesting, right? If who's going to win? It seems like OpenAI or Microsoft is winning right now, but we'll have to see how that forms. There's been a lot of now I saw. Hold on, if I can maybe find it again, MC. I did see an article. If I can find it. People, it's like, I might not be able to find it. That's the problem. If I don't save it, it doesn't, I always lose, it always loses, I lose it. But I think it was the gist of the article, I can't find it. The gist of the article is kind of like retail's really looking, like everybody's really looking to see where to go. And there we go, Chris. Is there a good ETF for AI? You know what? Skynet. Yeah. Chris, good question. We actually did. Let me pull it up. We did do a watch list of. Let me pull this up, and maybe AR. That is one of them on there. So I'm going to pull this up for you, Chris. We talked about this maybe last week. So we were talking about some of the tech ETFs. Probably the best way to maybe start to look into that. So there's a few. There's the BMO ARC. That's the one. ARC Innovation. There is that one as well. I could probably. So ARKK is in there. There is also I'll click on these so we can see them. There's a BMO NASDAQ 100. So obviously a lot of tech will be all focused on these. There's a Harvest Tech Achievers Income ETF is another one. These were all kind of recommended and mentioned by everybody that's on the stream. So, and then there's the iShares NASDAQ 100. And there is this is Canadian, there's the iShares S&P Tech. And then the last one was the Vanguard VGT, Vanguard Information Technology Index Fund ETF. Always a mouthful. Let's see if we have any more. Candace, yeah, good call. The metaverse ETFs do have a huge overlap. And I know there's one called Mesh, I believe. I'm going to add that to the... I'm going to add that to the list if it shows up. There it is. Let's add this, and we'll add that to. Come on. Where did my watch list go? That's weird. Did I just delete? Oh no, there they are. There we go. So there's Mesh. We'll add that one. And do I have ARKK? Yeah, ARKQ. Let's add ARKQ. Oh, autonomous technology and robotics. Yeah, that might be a good one too. Yeah, there we go. Or a Robo. So there's a whole bunch. Robo. I'm going to assume it's the global. Which one is it here? I think it's this one. No. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look and see what one it was. The right one. Where does this trade? That's Australian. Hold on. We don't want that. And Robo. That one. I think. There we go. Global robotics. There we go. So there's a few. There's a few for you, Chris, to kind of look at and kind of start off. I'll leave that. I'll take Candace's off there. So there's some. There's a few that have kind of been put on the radar for that. Okay, so you're thinking of something. You know what? This is the thing. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything yet. But knowing ETFs, I bet you very quickly there will be an ETF that is like focused on AI. Probably one company to maybe watch would be I know Evolve ETFs do a lot of tech ETFs. They have a lot of the cryptocurrency ETFs. They have the one that's with mesh. I could see them possibly doing something that's all AI. It's probably just a matter of time before, because it's the buzzword, right, of 2023. It's probably if there's not already one out there that's kind of like AI, there's going to be one probably very quickly that will focus on that. But again, like Candace had mentioned, a lot of the, like if you look at some of the metaverse and tech ones, there will be a lot of overlap. So there you go, something to look at. Hopefully you caught that. I'll take it off the screen, but you can always kind of go back and hit the pause, go back at the live stream and hit the pause and write them down. I have to figure out if anybody knows a good kind of web program or something where I can create a watch list. Like Google doesn't let me share. It doesn't let me share the watch list, I don't think. So like it lets me save them, but there's no way to actually like publish them. From what I can find, to actually be able to share them out. Because what I was going to do is create them, and then I can put them on my videos down in the description, so people can kind of click on and look and see if, you know, what we kind of talk about all these times, to make it a bit easier. So if anybody knows kind of a good web app or something like that, that would work for that. Hopefully free, because I'm frugal. That I can kind of set that up to share. That would be awesome. And then I would share that out for everybody to kind of see, because I think it would help everybody. It would help everybody a lot, I think, to get involved. There we go. Good call. I think that was all of them that we've had so far. I think I got them all off the list. If I missed somebody's, let me know, but I think I got that. But again, I guess this kind of comes to, Chris, everybody else, is don't necessarily always chase the latest thing. Do research on this kind of stuff, because sometimes chasing the latest thing and breaking from your original, keep an eye on your original, investment, plan, time frame, risk tolerance before kind of jumping into any type of new investment, right? Obviously, we always kind of say do your research, make sure it's right for you, because guaranteed a lot of these tech is going to be volatile, especially being in a new industry, kind of up and coming. So you want to be extra kind of careful and do some extra due diligence. Don't go all in on something, right? Because you think it's the next big thing. So stick with your plan, and if this can work into your long-term plan, then if you think it's an opportunity, then take it and go. Yeah, good. It's always interesting to have new stuff. I think I miss XQQ. That's a tech one too, I think, right? Do I have that one in there? Sorry. I do have it in there. What am I saying? Yeah. Sorry. They all blend into one. All right. So coming into the end, get your last minute questions in. If you haven't done it already, hit that like button. Always helps out the channel. Get those likes up. Get those channel views up. If you everything helps out. Yeah, that's the thing. Get an ETF. You'll be guaranteed an ETF kind of coming out. That will be probably that. And makes sense here. Actually, MC, good call. For AI, I think I'd be going with semiconductors, mega cap tech, and maybe Tesla. Yeah, Tesla would be one to look at too, for sure, because they're working on AI, right? The robotics, AI, also like all the self-driving stuff. That would be one to look at. In terms of these are individual stocks, yeah, NVIDIA, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, or something like that. Yeah, you could almost do that yourself, right? It's just taking, the thing about ETFs is it takes a lot of the choice. Not the choice, but like it takes the, sometimes management out of it. But that is those are good calls. I think for sure Microsoft, Google, and obviously even though Google's down, don't count 1 day or 2 days on the market in terms of how Google's going to be doing in the long term AI game. But those are kind of things to look at for sure. And there you go. Yeah, MC is great. That's awesome, Chris. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully that helped you out. So, but Semi's probably a more picks and shovels play AI. You don't need to be selective on AI itself. Okay, yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. So those are some tech ones. I'll keep my eye out, everybody, and Chris. I'll keep my eye out if I see something pop up in regards to an AI ETF. If I see something pop up on Twitter, or I'll keep an eye out. There might be something that people notice on there, and see how that works. 2023 is turning out to be kind of an interesting start to the year. That's for sure. It's it'll be interesting. I did have an article. We'll have to move it to tomorrow and kind of talk about, because I have to digest it a bit more, because I just kind of scrolled over it quickly this morning, but we did talk about it a little bit yesterday, and I was hoping to want to pull this up, but we are kind of running out of time. But Bank of Canada, with rates and stuff, they actually released their full minutes, which are interesting. So check those out if you're looking around online for something to read. So those are kind of interesting. They do talk about debt levels, and it was that I do find interesting. They were actually, what I read as well, is they were actually kind of thinking to not raise rates last time. So go find that. I will share. We'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow. I'll dig into that article a bit more and kind of read it over before sharing it. But that popped up in my stream this morning too. So there we go. My coffee is empty. Thanks everybody for making these live streams go fast. Bought some yield Google this morning. Good call, Naylor, and welcome. Thanks for coming by. That's good. There you go. That might be one to watch. There's a few people on the stream that have some of the yield ones. I have the Tesla yield. Haven't added any more. It's keeping my portfolio up, which is nice. And it's I know there's a few people that have some of the yield shares in there. I don't know about Google, but there's some that have the Tesla. I know that for sure. I know Vic has some Tesla. I think Vic bought all, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have bought all of them, or I think it was Berkshire. I think he bought. Yeah, that's no problem, Chris. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, hopefully sends you in the right direction. If you find something, Chris, when you're doing any kind of research, shoot me an email to one of the, like, if you find a decent ETF that you think is good, my email, you can find it on the about page of the channel. Shoot me an email and send me the link to it. I'd be happy to grab it and then add it to the list. If you find a good one, we can talk about it and kind of pull it up for other people to share. That's what this is all about. Kind of help each other out to, find investments to kind of look at in this. Because there's so many, especially ETFs, that's for sure. To kind of try and narrow them down sometimes is very difficult. So that is it. I will have the live stream again scheduled for tomorrow. I will schedule it at the right time again, so it will pop up on your feed and not show up in the past. I don't know how my live stream program allows me to schedule a stream in the past, but I guess there's a glitch there somewhere. So YouTube let me do that. That won't happen again. Learning from mistakes. These live streams are always kind of a bit of a learning experience as we go. But I do appreciate everybody that joins on, taking the time out of your morning, grabbing a coffee. Conversation is always good. I always learn something. We always find out something, which is always a good learning lots in investing, and learning lots as we go here from everybody that is watching and joining in the conversation, because it's all about you. So on that note, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you have a good rest of the day. We'll catch you tomorrow. I will get a portfolio update video film today. I promise we will get it on. And yes, for the past, no, you don't have to go 88. What is it? 88 miles an hour? No DeLorean. So good. So we're back to the well, tomorrow we'll be back to the future or something like that. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you all tomorrow, and have a great rest of the morning, and take care.